and homie pulling up on him at the last scene. I was like, oh shit, that was kind of boss. He was like, hold on, y'all got me fucked up. Get y'all asses over here. So y'all think y'all just gonna kill one of the kinfolk and just rock? Like I wasn't gonna pull up on the hood? I'm gonna let you little humans live and whatever, but we gonna have a fucking talk.
He's like, yeah, I'll come back later and I'll seek judgment.
Right, I'll sort this shit out. I'll air all this shit out.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy T.
I'm M.
And this is
Regret Nothing.
And today we got a movie review for you for MCU new movie, Eternals.
Yeah, and MCU's Eternals got a pretty large cast list, such as Salma Hayek and what's her name, Emma Chan?
Gemma Chan.
Gemma Chan. I don't know, bro, man, from Game of Thrones' name.
Kit Harington.
No, not that one.
Richard Madden.
Richard Madden. Kit Harington is also in it. Then my Brian, the bag, Tyree Henry. Come on.
Paperboy, as you may know him from Atlanta.
Out here, eating as he does. The brother man from the Indian brother.
Yeah, I ain't know him attempt to pronounce his name.
I know him though, but I don't know how to say his name. But yeah, those are all of the cast members that I know off the top of the head.
You forgot Angelina Jolie.
Damn, I did forget Angelina Jolie. Yeah, and Angelina Jolie. Yeah, so Eternals, the story, is essentially like these celestial beings or beings created from celestial beings are sent to Earth to protect the human race from these creatures called deviants, which are like these, let's say, evil celestial beings that will, ravage and kill people if they're left unchecked. And then the Celestials just kind of, chilling out on Earth, milly rocking with the humans and shit. And then things happen.
Yeah, you can think it as the Eternals as angels and deviants as demons and Celestial is God. It's the supernatural element. Celestial is a dick.
Yeah, that's the gist of it. I gotta say, this movie was different. It was definitely different. It was different than. Well, I mean, I didn't have any expectations going in. The trailers for it definitely gave that it was going to be a different vibe. I expected it to be a bit slower paced and a little bit more character focused and probably even more romantic or emotional than a traditional Marvel movie. But I gotta say, it was different than anything I would have expected. What was your thoughts going in and then coming out?
I expected it to be a real story-driven movie. Them to focus on the characters. And I mean, that's what we got. I mean, I wasn't surprised by anything that we saw in the movie. It's a lot more action in the movie that they displayed in the trailers or any of the trailers.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of action sequences. I feel like most of them were not most of them were in the trailer, but I feel like every sequence or scene or location, should I say, where there was action, there was some type of lead into that in the trailer. It wasn't any moment that I was like, this wasn't in the trailer at all. I may not know what was going on, but yeah. There's actually like 5 subplots going on simultaneously in this movie that are weaved through time as well as like situations. So you got the main plot, which is the Eternals are there on Earth to protect the humans from the deviants. And then you have the convergence, is that what they call it?
Emergence.
The emergence occurring, which is essentially a new, I guess,
Celestial being born.
Celestials being born, but that's revealed after the arrival of a new deviant that is capable of stealing the Eternal's power and growing more sentient with every, I guess, absorption. that it occurs with. And then you have them trying to recruit the members so that way they can, I guess, reconnect and solve the problem, which first is stop the deviant, and then second, stop the celestial. And then you have their, I guess, god, can't remember its name.
Anners or something, some of the A.
Yeah, something science fiction. And that thing is also, I don't know if it's so much of a threat, but a concern of sorts. And then their little personal lives, like Brian's character's family and my Indian brother's career, and then Icarus loving Cersei, and then I guess Sprite also loving Icarus, and then whatever the deaf girl and the boy that takes people's minds over thing was going on. Angelina Jolie was losing her mind. Gilgamesh was trying to keep her cool, and then they trying to figure out what happened with Ajax, all the lies, and then the reveal of the Celestials over there just doing whatever the fuck the Celestials want to do. So it's like a lot of balls kind of in the air all at once, and it's never confusing, but I never felt like I quite knew where this was going at times. Like, I get what's happening, but it's like, okay, how are we gonna wrap this up? Because it didn't feel like your traditional MCU movie, which isn't bad at all, not a criticism, but it's definitely like, okay, this could have gone in any direction, and I would not have known which direction it was going in. Yeah. So as far as the characters are concerned, the characters are pretty interesting. We've already talked about the actors, but you got Gilgamesh, whose power set is, I guess he can create like light fist gauntlets and stompers.
He has like, I guess those gauntlets, and his power, whatever, gives him the ability to deflect things, and he has like super strength.
Yeah, so it made him more of a brawler. Icarus, he could fly.
Icarus is essentially Superman.
Yeah, he also could use laser beams. Then you have Sprite, who apparently can just kind of like create illusions and duplicate things. Misdirection seemed to be that was main power. Boy, what's that dude's name who could take over people's minds?
Some of the
Druid, I want to say. So he could take over sentient creatures' minds, but only like humans and animals and shit. He couldn't take over like another Eternal or Deviant's mind, which made his power semi-useful and also not. And then you have Angelina Jolie's character, Thena, who I guess in human society, the goddess, Greek goddess Athena is kind of like modeled somewhat after. And she can create shields, spears, and swords out of her power. You have, I don't remember her name, but the black chick, she was a speedster.
Yeah, I don't remember what her name was.
Nah, she was deaf also, but she could run hella fast.
Yeah, that actress is deaf.
Brian Tyree's character,
Phastos,
he could create, I guess, technology and manipulate gadgetry is essentially was his power. And then Cersei's power was the ability to change physical matter into some other type of matter. So like a stone into a tree or water or whatever.
She turned a knife into water and one of the deviants into a tree.
Right. And Ajax, who is the leader, Salma Hayek, she could heal. That was pretty much her only power. What'd you think about how they functioned as like a team?
They had good chemistry. One of the times when they went back in history, they were like tag teaming this one demon, and they was fucking that shit up. It was Thena, I think Gilgamesh, what's his name, Killjoy, he was there. I don't remember the speech, but they was all tag teaming this one deviant, and they spent centuries and thousands of years together, so they built this great camaraderie and teamwork together.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of teams such as the Avengers, the Guardians, and such and such. And I can say that they've definitely had their own little flow. They weren't traditionally, you got your Avengers and your Guardians, which is like a group of misfits that kind of don't really belong together, that struggle to find cohesion, but they end up eventually figuring it out. This was actually the opposite of that. This team functioned perfectly from the beginning.
They're much more of like a true family in a sense.
They actually function as a unit out the gate and then slowly break apart at the end, which was different because it's essentially deconstruction instead of construction. And but it was definitely interesting watching all their powers in the beginning and then working together with the ancient humans. The deaths for the people, like that first dude that was at the fishing pier, and it was like, it's coming, and he just got ate. I was like, damn. Like he was dead. It wasn't like they alluded to the concept of he died. No, he was like munched on. It was everything but like blood and guts. I was like, okay, I see how we starting out this one. This is probably the most mature Marvel movie or MCU movie they've made.
Yeah, thank you, Marvel.
Definitely the most mature.
Thank you, Kevin.
You got sexual themes, you got deep concepts of love and interpersonality, violence, betrayal, and then it's probably the slowest paced tonally movie that they've probably ever made. And not as witty. It has its humor, but it's not as like dick jokes and such. So yeah, it's definitely more mature. I would almost say that they probably, if they were feeling ballsy,
it's like something DC would have made.
It does, and in times, yes, it does. It's a thinker. Were you entertained throughout the entire thing?
I mean, it dragged at parts, but the movie is 2 hours and 37 minutes long, but I never felt the runtime. Yeah. It's not like watching Endgame is 3 hours, a little over 3 hours, and the middle of that motherfucker, you feel that runtime.
Yeah, you feel it on the second watch through more so than the first one. I feel like watching this again would probably be a bit less interesting than the first watch through, simply because you don't have the mystery of trying to solve what's going on to benefit you. There's action that's like spaced out pretty evenly through the movie, but it's not quite as interesting to probably excite you to get from the next moment to the next moment. There's a lot of focusing on like our emotions, which is very different because I haven't seen a movie in superhero or otherwise in the modern era focus so much on like character emotions as much as like character motivations. Typically it's like, I love you, and the way I'm going to show that I love you is by killing these things or fighting these people. For them in this movie, it's more like, I love you, and I'm going to tell you why and how with words and not actions. And it's like, okay, that's different. It feels like a romance movie. Like a Judd Apatow if he made a superhero movie at times. Yeah. Very, very intricate and mature. What do you think about how this movie connects to the larger MCU?
I think it opens the door for them to go, I guess, intergalactic. Like, I feel like the Celestials probably could lead to Galactus maybe later down the line. So, bigger, grander threats. And then we have the tease at the end, the first post-credit scene. Apparently, what's his name? Eros, I guess his name was.
Star Fox, Thanos.
Yeah, brother of Thanos. I know nothing about that character. But
I heard something about him appearing in the MCU, but I didn't know.
I thought when he first popped up, I thought it was like an Adam Warlock tease, but
nah, because that's not the actor that plays Adam Warlock. I was wondering what was about to happen though, because something was appearing, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I thought it was about to be Thor for a second there, because I thought it was the, what's it called, the Rainbow Bridge? No, the Bifrost. I thought it was the Bifrost for a second there, and then I was like, is that, damn, what's that dude's name that was voicing the fucking troll monster? I know his name, like a Peter or something. I can hear his fucking voice clear as damn day. But yeah, apparently the dude is like a person or something. Harry Styles. I don't know what he is. Musician or something.
Yeah.
He's a person.
He was, I think, they were gonna put him in The Little Mermaid. He was gonna be the prince, I think, but he turned it down.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So, yeah, he had a cameo. He's playing, he says Thanos' brother. I assume that he's an Eternal, but of a different planet, because he had one of the little orb things, and he had a similar fit as them, and they were looking for other Eternals as well. So I was wondering if he was a Titan. He did say from Titan. Titan is Thanos' home planet, which kind of made me wonder, was Thanos an Eternal? Yeah, that'd be interesting. If Thanos was an Eternal, would that mean that his planet was destroyed because... Nah, his planet wouldn't have been destroyed if an Eternal popped up, because then it wouldn't have been a planet, right? Yeah, so, I don't know. I did like the reveal that Celestials are born from sentient planets and that they burst through, and that's how I knew the Celestial is formed. I was like, oh, it's like a circle of life, but on a cosmic scale. The Celestials create life by creating stars and solar systems, and in return, those planets that have sentient life are sacrificed in the birth of a new fucking Celestial, which repeats the cycle on and on again. I was like, kind of like life and death in reality. I did like that reveal. And then as soon as they had their OG telling them about the plan, I was like, so Galactus is very plausible now. We're like this close from Galactus. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in seeing where they go with this Celestial thing, because originally I thought the Celestials were all dead, but now it's a possibility that they aren't. And homie pulling up on them at the last scene, I was like, oh shit, that was kind of boss. He was like, hold on, y'all got me fucked up. Get y'all asses over here. So y'all think y'all just gonna kill one of the kinfolk and just rock? Like I wasn't gonna pull up on the hood? I'm gonna let you little humans live and whatever, but we gonna have a fucking talk.
He's like, yeah, I'll come back later and I'll seek judgment.
Right, I'll sort this shit out. I'll air all this shit out. Yeah, that shit was interesting. I'm wondering how the Avengers and everybody was kind of dealing with the fact that a fucking giant planet-sized creature was bursting out of the center of the ocean for a stretch there. Like that, you can see that damn thing's head from space. That's kind of a thing you notice now. So I wonder how all of that changes things. That's one of the interesting parts about the MCU. Every time they make a movie, there's something that changes something, and now you're wondering, well, how will this affect the next guy's movie? Probably not at all, but eventually we're gonna talk about it again when you least fucking expect it. I can say that for one of the first times, I had no idea where they would go with a sequel. They killed probably a third of the team, and then they separated them.
I figured everybody, it's like 10 of them, and I figured all of them weren't gonna survive.
Yeah, I had heard that some of them may not survive. I was surprised that Salma Hayek died, and I wasn't surprised they killed him. Actually, that seemed probable. I was 50-50 on if Angelina Jolie was gonna make it.
Right.
She had this real weird
Yeah, I was like surprised they killed Salma Hayek too, and I was like, oh well, we didn't get to see what happened to her. But then that's later revealed.
Yeah, all of her scenes were flashbacks, which at first I was like, it's kind of cheap, but it's fine. Because I thought it was some trailer trickery. I thought it was like, because they had that scene in the trailer where her and Icarus was talking about Thanos snapping his fingers, and I was like, oh, so that was just some trailer trickery. I was like, so the whole Thanos conversation doesn't happen, then it's a flashback. What you think about the bootleg Superman betraying his teammates?
I mean, I thought it was a nice twist to the story, and you know, he went full evil Superman on him, and he was like, all right, I ride for this mission. Ajax, she went off straight. I had to take her out. You feel me? So y'all stand in my way. I'm gonna kill every last one of y'all. You feel me?
It'd be your ass.
And can't none of y'all fucking stop me.
Pretty much. I mean, this movie really didn't have like a villain, because the Deviant was upset because, you know, it realized that, hey, we've been tricked, we've been lied to, just like y'all. And then you got Icarus, who's just doing what he's programmed to do. As far as like what they're supposed to do, he's the only one doing that. And then you got this Celestial that's just trying to be born, really. So, I mean, there's really no like outright villain in a traditional sense, but there are like people that you gotta like stop, because if they do, a bunch of innocent people will die. So,
you think Icarus is really gone? I don't think not. He flew into the sun, but yeah, I'm like, hey, he'll be back.
Yeah, he'll probably be back. He'll either be back or reincarnated, one of the two, I suspect. So yeah, I don't think we've seen the last of him. If he'll come back as friend or foe, don't know. But yeah, I don't think we've seen the last of him. What'd you think about his character?
I'd like to say thank you, Kevin Feige, for putting respect on Superman. It was also frustrating and disappointing, because I saw what you did, Kevin. I saw what you did.
What'd he do?
Plugging. He's like, oh, I saw you on TV. It's Superman, right? You're Superman, right?
You did the thing with your eyes.
Yeah, you did the thing with your eyes. He had the cape. I don't wear a cape. They also dropped the Batman references too.
They plugged a couple of DC references.
They did. Superman, Batman. They even plugged their fellow Disney brand Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. It was like, yeah, we'll give everybody a shout out. We show love out here. There's no hate. We got too many B's and billions in the bank to be upset about anything. Yeah. Here's for you. So yeah.
Take notes, Warner Brothers, you motherfucker.
Yeah, Icarus was a cool dude. He was. To be honest, I don't feel like though there was a much large difference between him and like Henry Cavill's portrayal of Superman. He was kind of a quiet, reserved hero who ultimately wanted to do good but felt stifled by like society.
Yeah, when he after he realized that he basically killed Ajax and he did his laser beam scream moment, I was like, that is fucking Man of Steel after Henry Cavill's suits broke Zod's neck. Yep. I saw what you did, Kevin. I saw what you did.
Yep. Yep. All of that. He did a lot of like staring at the sky and the sunlight.
I mean, shit. He did everything but do the fucking Zack Snyder Superman punch in the sky.
Oh, yeah.
The two punches, which we don't never fucking need to see again ever again.
No. I thought they was gonna do it when he was fighting the flying Deviant,
yeah.
But he just cut his wings.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
We don't never need to see that again. They've milked that fucking movie dry.
Even Marvel was like, yeah, we've seen this enough.
Right. Yeah.
We'll just have him kill it and keep it pushing. Yeah. So yeah, he was an interesting character. I'd like to see more of him. You know, Marvel has like a off-brand Superman called Sentry, which is essentially just Superman in every way, shape, or form, but blonde hair, blue eye, and he's like evil. I imagine someday they'll introduce that character. This Kit Harington's character, I realized after like they had killed the Celestial, I was like, he really didn't play a part in this other than being like her boyfriend. And I know his character's supposed to be Black Knight. I don't know anything about that character, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that character either. But the sword he has is called the Blade something.
Yeah, I think it was talking to him.
The Dark Blade or something like that. But yeah, and apparently, so that blade, every time it kills or he kills somebody with the blade, the more blood it sheds, the more thirst for blood that the sword has, or the person who wields the sword has. And apparently only a person who's pure of heart can wield the sword, and that's the curse behind having the sword. And it keeps you immune to death by wielding the sword as well.
Immortality blade.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Speaking of Blade, I think we heard him in that fucking snippet.
It's possible.
I swear that was Mahershala Ali saying, "You sure about that nigga?" in the background. And if that's the case, that means vampires are on the fucking way. I'm hype.
It would be PG-13.
I'm just ready to see Blade again. It's been a long time, my friend. Into the fray. I'll take him in whatever way I can. I'm not choosy. Yeah, so if that is Blade, that's dope. I'm definitely interested in seeing where they go with this particular crew. They don't fit in the traditional mold, so seeing how they plug them is going to be interesting, especially since they're a bit more adult than the traditional MCU hero, who's essentially like a teenager hyped up on Rockstar energy drinks.
Yeah.
And saving the world on shits and giggles.
Yeah, looking at you, Thor.
I feel like Thor would be like, wow, y'all are so serious. Okay. This is an interesting energy. So yeah. So what would you rate this movie?
I liked it. I enjoyed it. It's not one of the MCU's best in my opinion. It's not in the top 5 or anything like that, but it is better than some movies I can say in the MCU for sure.
Yeah, not the worst.
But I can't give it a fuego, so I'll give it a mediocre.
For being different and having a lot of maturity and depth, introducing things like love, both from a man and a man, or a man and a woman or a man perspective, I'd say it's definitely bringing some new range to the game of the MCU. So for taking bold steps, fuck it, I'll give it a fuego. It's definitely been worse movies that I would say deserve to be in a mediocre bracket, and I wouldn't put it there. Not the one I would go back to quickly, but if there's ever a movie in the future that ties in a very direct way, I'd check it out again just to be clued in and shit. Yeah, I'm interested in seeing where they go forward with this. What was the director's name? Chloe Zhao?
Yeah.
Okay. You did decent.
It's a woman.
Yeah. So
she won a Academy Award for a movie she directed last year.
yeah, I think she does a lot of like art house projects.
It was something about nomads or something.
Any final thoughts?
Look forward to see what they doing next. It's the next MCU movie will be Spider-Man next month.
Next month. Looking at you, Spidey.
And we shall see if Toby and Andrew was in that motherfucker, because I still have my
I
doubt.
keep my hopes up. I just hope it doesn't have Venom.
We shall see. Sony just like, well, shit.
Don't know about Morbius either. Saw that trailer. I was like, this feels like Venom 2. Oh, I'm gonna have to pray on it. I'm gonna pray on it.
Yeah, it's coming out in January.
Yeah,
so,
I got months.
yeah.
I got 2 months to think about it. We'll see what happens. We're gonna play it by ear. Anyways, I'm M.
I'm T.
And we
Regret nothing.
And if you liked our review, like and subscribe for more reviews just like this. We got tons of content coming on the channel real soon. Yeah, and like and subscribe and share on all the socials. You know, Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitters, all of the socials.
All of them.
You bitch.